Coming in at number 10, Jim Carrey. Jim Carrey is an actor, comedian, writer, and producer known for his energetic slapstick performances, and Carrey first gained recognition in 1990 after landing a recurring role in the American sketch comedy television series called In Living Color. After hearing what happened to Chris Rock, Jim told CBS's Gayle King that he was sickened not only by Smith's actions, but by Hollywood celebrities who still gave Smith a standing ovation for his Best Actor win for King Richard. He went on to say, "Hollywood is just spineless en masse, and it felt like this is a really clear indication that we aren't the cool club anymore. I'd have announced this morning that I was suing Will for $200 million because that video is going to be there forever. It's going to be ubiquitous. That insult is going to last a very long time. If you want to yell from the audience and show disapproval or say something on Twitter, that's fine, but you do not have the right to walk up on stage and smack somebody in the face because they said words." But before we jump into our next point, make sure you tap that like button to show some love to the channel. In at number 9, David Spade. Comedian David Spade and Chris Rock have been pals for a while now, so many were expecting him to release some sort of response to what took place at the Oscars. The pair first became good friends and comedic collaborators when they appeared on Saturday Night Live together in the 90s. They also co-starred in Adam Sandler's hit movie Grown Ups and the sequel Grown Ups 2. So knowing that they have a personal and working relationship, it only made sense that Spade would defend Chris. Initially, David tweeted, "A G.I. Jane joke?" Then when someone on Twitter asked why would you phrase this as a G.I. Jane joke instead of a joke about a woman with alopecia, he responded with, "Because comedians don't have a medical chart for everyone in the audience." In at number 8, Kathy Griffin. Comedian Kathy Griffin was another celebrity defending Chris Rock after seeing Will Smith slap him. She tweeted out in response to what happened and said, "Let me tell you something, it's a very bad practice to walk up on stage and physically attack a comedian. Now we all have to worry about who wants to be the next Will Smith in comedy clubs and theaters." Although many people in her replies were quick to pull up that photo of her holding a ketchup-covered Donald Trump head as if to say that she did condone violence, Griffin made a valid point though. This will set an awful precedent for people feeling like they can approach a comedian on stage just when they don't like what they're hearing. In at number 7, Howard Stern. Howard Stern is an American radio and television personality, comedian, and author. He's also best known for his radio show, The Howard Stern Show, which gained popularity when it was nationally syndicated on terrestrial radio from 1986 to 2005. He has since been broadcasting on SiriusXM satellite radio since 2006. During his show on Monday, though, the radio host spoke about the Will Smith-Chris Rock incident and said, "This is a sign of great mental illness when you can't control your impulse. Not only that, it was hardly an insulting joke. It was not even a good joke. You don't provide security? You don't have someone come up there? Chris Rock was just trying to make people laugh at the effing ceremony, which was so long and boring." In at number 6, Judd Apatow. Judd Apatow is also a comedian, director, producer, and screenwriter. He's also the founder of Apatow Productions, through which he has produced and directed the films The 40-Year-Old Virgin, Knocked Up, Funny People, This Is 40, Trainwreck, and The King of Staten Island. In response to what took place at this year's Oscars, Judd wrote in a since-deleted tweet, "He could have ended his life. That's pure out-of-control rage and violence. They've heard a million jokes about them in the last 3 decades. They are not freshmen in the world of Hollywood and comedy. He lost his mind." And the person who reposted his deleted tweet also commented on the matter and said, "Judd Apatow getting ratioed to hell feels like a fitting end to the night." Coming in at number 5, Ethan Klein. H3H3's Ethan Klein was another comedian that was quick to defend Chris Rock and condemn Will Smith's actions. Following the slap heard around the world, the H3 host took to Twitter to share his thoughts on what happened. In the tweet, Ethan said, "Will Smith's just a walking L since his wife decided to start weekly humiliating him on her Facebook show. Probably should deal with whatever trauma he has with her instead of punching Chris Rock in the face for an extremely tame joke. He needs to be escorted out of the Oscars." He then went on to say, "Will Smith won and got a standing ovation. I'm in awe. The show went on like nothing happened. Will Smith punched a comedian for doing his job. He's a celebrity in the front row of the Oscars where it's normal to be roasted, bad taste or not, defending Will equals brain rot." In at number 4, John Leguizamo. John Leguizamo is an actor, comedian, producer, and writer. He first rose to fame with a co-starring role in Super Mario Bros. As Luigi and a supporting role in the Klein drama known as Carlito's Way. In response to what happened at the Oscars, he told Entertainment Tonight that at first he thought that the moment was a sketch until he realized that there was no punchline coming. He went on to say, "I thought Will's performance was amazing and I'm sorry that he tarnished it with this behavior. I mean, nobody likes to be made fun of, but you gotta have a sense of humor about yourself. Can't take yourself that seriously. I mean, we're just acting, you know? Let's just relax." Very true. Coming number 3, Tom Segura. After the Academy tweeted, "The Academy does not condone violence of any form. Tonight we are delighted to celebrate our 94th Academy Awards winners who deserve this moment of recognition from their peers and movie lovers around the world." In response, Tom quote tweeted that and said, "LOL, you fully endorsed it. F Will Smith." He then took things even further and said in another tweet, F. Will Smith's candy butt smacking a dude 4 inches shorter and 50 pounds lighter. He's just in his feelings cause his bald-headed B been effing around on him for years and he takes it. We all know who he wishes he could slap. Hashtag cuck Will. Coming in number 2, Joe Rogan. In a recent episode of his podcast, The Joe Rogan Experience, Joe defended fellow comedian Chris Rock while condemning Will Smith's actions. While speaking with martial artist Josh Barnett, Rogan described Chris's joke as mild and said that this will set an awful precedent for comedy clubs. During the show, he said, "First of all, that whole scene is a great example of what's wrong with the glorification of just being able to go up to someone and smack them in the face. Chris Rock's doing his effing job. There's a professional comedian whose job is to roast people. That's what he's doing, and what he did wasn't even insulting. It was a mild joke." He then continued and said, "You can't just go smack a man in the face in front of the world and go about business as usual. It sets a terrible precedent in so many different ways. It sets a terrible precedent for comedy clubs. Like, are people going to decide that they're going to go on stage and smack the comedian now?" And last but certainly not least, our number 1 spot, Amy Schumer. Amy Schumer happened to also be performing some hosting duties at the Oscars this year, and so a lot of people wanted to hear her reaction to what happened as well, seeing as though she was actually there. When interviewed about the incident, she said that she was still triggered and traumatized as she praised comedian Chris Rock for handling it like a pro after Will Smith stormed onto the stage and slapped him during the 94th award show. She also added in an Instagram post caption, "I think we are all going to be processing tonight for a while." And then she also said in a deleted post, "I think we can all agree that the best way to unpack what happened is to stream my series Life and Beth and see me on tour this fall. But for real, still triggered and traumatized. I love my friend Chris Rock and believe he handled it like a pro. Stayed up there and gave an Oscar to his friend Questlove, and the whole thing was so disturbing. So much pain in Will Smith. Anyway, I'm still in shock and stunned and sad. I'm proud of myself and my co-host, but yeah, waiting for this sickening feeling to go away from what we all witnessed." That's been today's list though. If I missed anyone, make sure you leave us a comment down below. And while you do that, I'm going to check out some of your comments from the video titled, "Chris Rock breaks silence on Will Smith's Oscar slap." Panda Bush 1 says, "As a legend once said himself, as a comedian, as a policy, I never and or should never have to feel bad about any jokes I make on stage. Dave Chappelle." Yeah, I really can't wait to hear Dave's jokes about this whole thing because him and Chris are friends, so it will be interesting to see. And I'm pretty sure he's tight with Will Smith as well, so we'll see how he takes it. Sarah Pope says, "When I can hit someone for saying crap I don't like, then I'll be on Will's side. Until then, Chris Rock was just reading a script, probably wasn't even his joke, but he remained calm and didn't escalate. I respect that more than losing control and hitting someone for any reason." Yeah, hey, please don't hit anyone for just saying something you don't like. Just use your words, as our parents all told us, I'm sure. Tanya G says, "Yeah, instead of asking him to leave and he refused, you could have then politely escorted his rear end out of the auditorium. So yes, you definitely could have handled it differently." Oh, they definitely could have handled it differently. That's for sure. Mother of Odysseus says, "I want to light Sage every time I see her. I feel so bad for Will and sad that Chris had to be the one to get the backfire from a toxic relationship. Good vibes for the boys." I feel like Sage would heal this though. That's a good point. Geraldine says, "Chris Rock, you're an example of a real man. Thank you for maintaining your composure and humility during the incident." Yeah, he certainly is. He will be remembered for that. That's all the time we have for today though, folks, so stay classy, and I'll see you on the next one.